Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 3, Episode 31, where we watch Holiday Baking Championship. Season 5, Episode 1, I'm Chris Lorenz.
Gingerbread Max.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
Robert Kitts.
It's James.
All right. Before we get into the show, I want to make an addendum to last week's episode.
Oh.
I want to change my rating. As I was debating between medium or top and bottom or top and middle, I'm going to put it back in the top. I think you got to put it in the top.
What show are we talking about here, Chris?
Forged in Fire.
Forged in Fire.
It is a competition show about making weapons, knives and swords and stuff.
Blades.
Blades.
Okay.
Don't forget about halberds.
Oh.
They did not make halberds last week.
I wasn't on the show last week. I don't know. I haven't listened to it.
Well, we need the audience, Max.
Yeah.
All right. Can you get the description for
Oh, I
this
got
show?
the description.
All right. Harrison, give it to me.
The search to find the greatest holiday baker begins as 8 amateur bakers enter the kitchen where they show off their family traditions and superb baking skills. To survive the challenges from week to week, they must prove their abilities in front of our tough love judges, Duff Goldman, Nancy Fuller, and Lorraine Pascal. Hosted by Jesse Palmer, this baking championship is the sweetest way to celebrate this holiday season. That's Holiday Baking Championship on the Food Network.
How much do you like the name Duff?
It's a great name.
You seem to like it a lot.
It's just a strong name. Is that his real name?
I don't know.
What's more real, Duff or Paul Hollywood?
I was thinking the same thing.
That's a fair point.
How do you think he spells Duff? Like a Duff man Duff?
I just saw it, and it's spelled like Duff Man.
Duff Man.
Duff man is in this holiday baking challenge.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is average everyday cooking
Yeah, I was just going to say,
challenge
there's
show.
nothing special about this show.
The
It is-
minutia are good.
Yeah. There's some details that are interesting, but like structurally, this is the most bland vanilla show we've done in a long time.
Yeah, it's a not as good version of Great British Baking Show, pretty much.
Well, it's like Great British Baking Show has its own like unique like quirks and charm, and like this just feels like, other than the fact that it's got this holiday theme on it, it's just like the most generic cooking show you can imagine.
And like, I guarantee that this whole thing was filmed like in the spring and summer, so it's this they're pretending this weird holiday theme because they had to air it for the fall. You know,
This is definitely like a 3-day thing. Like they're
I feel like each episode you're not cooking like twice in a day.
Oh yeah, you definitely are.
Well, they're
definitely
cooking
doing
twice in a
multiple.
day because
Yeah.
there were 2 challenges they had to cook.
You know what I mean?
They're cooking 4 times a day. They're doing 2
they are
episodes a
not
day.
doing 2 episodes a day. They were cooking for like a 190-minute challenge and a 2-hour challenge. Think of all the time that it takes to set all this stuff. They're
Yeah.
definitely only doing one
All
episode
right,
a day.
all right.
I got a quick announcement. Duff Goldman was born on December 17th, 1974 in Detroit, Michigan as Jeffrey Adam Goldman.
Wow.
What? How does he get
this
the
is a
nickname
chosen name.
Duff?
IMDb does not say how he became Duff. It does seem like it was a chosen name.
What is Duff's claim to fame? Like, why is he the judge in this show?
He has another baking show on
Why is anyone the judge of this show?
the Food Network or whatever.
We'll find out.
Some
later.
kind of cake-related show.
Yeah.
It's some Food Network circle jerk thing.
It
going
is
on,
a
for sure.
Cake Boss ripoff, I think.
Why is the Cake Boss not in this show?
Because he's too busy making dollar bills to be on the show.
Chef and owner of Charm City Cakes in Baltimore, Maryland, Duff Goldman and his crew of decorators attempt to create amazing and awe-inspiring cakes for their clients each week.
You know, Baltimore, famed for its cakes.
This
Al- also,
I mean, different
Cake
kind
Boss-
of cakes, Max.
Cake
Those are
Boss
the crab
ripoff.
cakes.
yeah,
that is just Cake Boss.
it's Cake Boss except with this Duff Goldman and in Baltimore.
And it's called the Ace of Cakes.
all right,
Ace
guys,
of
we got
Cakes.
rules before we get too deep, guys.
Tell
We're
me about
already
the
too deep.
challenges.
So the first challenge is what the I don't even know.
Pumpkin spice.
Something pumpkin spice related. So they introduce 9 people, and they introduce their specific dish. It's more about the people than the dish in this first episode. Probably different later on. And then the second challenge was some sort of Yule log mashup. So they had to make Yule logs and mash them up with whatever something they gave them. And then there was some sort of post-challenge start. They had to introduce brandy into their dish at some point.
Key to the judging, the brandy.
And somebody got eliminated. No one cares what her name was, but it was bad. And that was it. There's like nothing really else to talk about.
I have a lot of things to nitpick.
No,
Okay.
no, yeah.
When
Back to the minutia.
when Rob said, "Oh, we're watching like holiday baking, the Great Challenge cook-off or whatever," and they started talking about pumpkin spice, I'm like, "It's not Christmas." To me, Thanksgiving is not really a holiday.
It
not
was-
holy.
What?
What?
It's the definition of a holiday.
What do you mean
It
Thanksgiving
just
isn't
like
a holiday?
when somebody says, "Hey, it's holidays time," what do you think about?
Well, Max, I think first we have to get into the minutia of this. There's even saying it's the holidays and a holiday. Like,
100%.
Yeah,
are you gonna try to say that MLK Day is not a holiday?
no, I'm not going to
The
say
4th
that.
of July.
I'm saying the holidays.
Yes. So
You-
the holidays versus a holiday.
You got Kwanzaa, you got
Oh.
Decembermas, you got New Year's,
Okay.
all three big ones.
Right.
All right. Okay. All right. I don't know what to talk about. The only minutia I have in this first challenge, well, I have a couple, but like one person says that like I'm like a duck. I go above the water, I'm calm, but below the water, I'm like moving my feet, and I was
Constantly
just like,
Yeah.
paddling.
it's a very odd analogy.
That I feel like that's the thing that people say. I
You
don't
think so?
know.
I've never heard
I've
anyone
heard
say
people
that.
make
I've
that
heard that
kind of
analogy,
comment.
okay.
I am reasonably sure ducks can just sit there, right?
They definitely can float.
But
yeah.
it's definitely a thing that ducks on the surface look very calm, even when they're kicking a lot into the water.
Yeah, like in order for them to move, like they're kicking their feet a bunch.
Sure,
but-
that I agree with.
Yeah.
I thought they were saying like to float, they're constantly kicking. That seems wrong.
No, it's just what you see on the surface, what's going on underneath,
Okay.
are not the same thing.
Okay.
That's what's going on there.
and
It's like the iceberg of the animal kingdom.
I was definitely thinking exactly that.
the other minutia I had was one of the contestants had like this sketch of their dessert.
Oh,
and it
yeah.
was like just squiggles, and he was like, "Yeah, this is the squiggly for the top, and this is like the bottom." And I was like, "That looks like a 2-year-old came in here and decided they were gonna play with your piece of paper."
How did that drawing compare to the Forged in Fire drawings we saw last week?
The Forge of Fire drawings, they looked like what they were supposed to. Whether your blades came out the way you wanted them to, different story.
Yeah. So back to Max's point: is pumpkin spice Thanksgiving enough? 'Cause it's kind of pre-Thanksgiving. It's kind of an October.
It's definitely
thing.
like a fall. It's just fall.
Yeah,
I feel
falls-
like pumpkin pie is a pretty Thanksgiving thing.
that is true.
And that's got that pumpkin spice in it.
Is pumpkin pie
No.
pumpkin spice?
No.
It's what it's flavored with. Like,
No,
it's
pumpkin. It has pumpkin in it,
No, I understand that, but it also has other stuff in it too.
like cinnamon and
What?
nutmeg. Okay,
what,
sure.
What flavors do you think pumpkin spice is modeled after?
Cinnamon
Pumpkin.
and nutmeg and not pumpkin.
pumpkin
It's
spice.
like pumpkin spice is like the spice of a pumpkin pie.
That's absolutely okay.
Is it
well,
not?
on that note, one of the judges said, "I like the pumpkin," but then another judge said, "I'm not getting any pumpkin spice for the same dish."
So I guess that could, yeah,
You can interpret that more than one way.
that could be what we're
I
just
know,
talking
but
about.
this is one way to interpret that.
It is one way.
Is
to
that
interpret it.
there's a difference between pumpkin and pumpkin spice, and I think there would be. I think pumpkin spice is like the difference between like raspberry taste and cherry taste, and like an actual raspberry and cherry. Like tastes vastly different.
What I'll say is this: pumpkin spice tastes like a pumpkin pie. It does not taste anything like a pumpkin.
I will agree with that.
Okay, I think we're on the same page here.
So you're saying that pumpkin pie doesn't taste anything like a pumpkin?
No, I'm saying pumpkin spice doesn't taste like a pumpkin.
Here's something weird that I saw at work. We had this pizza place, and they had this like kind of specialty like seasonal pizza that changes every month. And the one for the month of November was a pizza that instead of like the tomato or white sauce base had a pumpkin puree base to it.
Oh, gross.
Ugh.
I'm not into that. I'm gonna.
Did
I'm
you
gonna come
try
right
it
out
for
and say,
Did you try it?
posterity?
I did not try it.
Oh, You needed to
It's
try it
called-
so you could come and tell us.
Wait, but it's like pumpkin puree with then like pizza toppings, like pepperoni on it.
Yeah, it was like some Thanksgiving-y toppings. It was weirdly not named after Thanksgiving. It's called the Kevin.
Well,
What's
Maybe-
Kevin doing?
Maybe Kevin invented it.
man, everyone's so conservative these days.
Yeah.
Can't be too risque. These holidays.
So,
the holidays.
Speaking of which, okay, is fall a holiday?
It's a
a
season.
Fall is definitely not a holiday. I'm
I
breaking
just-
this to you, Max.
Right, no, I'm well aware. Like, I disagree with their whole. The first challenge is pumpkin spice.
But is fall a part of the holidays?
not really.
Oh, it definitely
No.
is.
well,
Definitely is. Fall is what kicks off the holiday season.
Fall starts in September.
Nah, but like by the time October comes around, then you're getting full swing into the holiday mode.
Nah.
So,
Oh, definitely.
so you're gonna not only say that Thanksgiving is a part of the holidays, but that Halloween is a part of the holidays.
Halloween kicks everything off, kicks it into gear.
oh my god,
The holiday
All right.
season starts with Halloween.
All
Well,
right,
no,
guys.
like
All right.
it's
Whoa,
like you
whoa,
have
okay.
Halloween and then you transition into the holiday
into
seasons.
Thanksgiving,
Why
and then you
isn't-
transition into the holidays.
Why didn't this start off with a Halloween cake?
I think it's great. They should have
Bullshit.
A big candy corn.
the show aired November 3rd, so episode 1
Yeah,
was right
that's-
after Halloween.
That's 3 days after Halloween.
That's why they
Zero
sell pumpkin
perfect.
happy.
You're really making James's point for him here.
I know. I would say that after Halloween is when the quote unquote holidays
Right.
would
No-
start, because like people are like gearing up for Black Friday, which is gearing up for
November starts the holiday season
Christmas.
in the United States, at least, because we're self-centered. But you know,
What about Canadian Thanksgiving?
yeah, when is that? November, October?
It's the same day as Columbus Day. So it's the second Monday of October.
What is
Okay.
you mean?
I've- yeah.
What is
Indigenous
what-
Peoples Day.
Indigenous
It's
Peoples
also
Day
the
is
same day as
yeah,
Indigenous
yeah,
Peoples
yeah.
Day.
We don't give that other guy any credit.
It's true.
Right.
Does anyone have any minutia? Should we go over the contestants? Anyone like have anything to say about them?
I have a question, actually. You said we don't give that other guy any credit. Do you think a man named Indigenous People is a guy?
They're guys,
It's not just guys.
guys and girls and men and women and anyone in between those four.
Moving on.
It's off the rails.
So let's get into should we get into the host minutia for a minute here?
Okay, sure. I'm confused. So little backstory here. We watched the show because the host was somebody, and I have no fucking idea why we did that.
You still don't know who the host is?
He was in that Bachelor thing, right? Or am I
Do you know his name?
no?
Wow, that's crazy. We've been talking about it.
Jessica Palmer.
Almost.
Oh, the football player, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I was just like, they didn't. There's nothing in the show to indicate any of this.
That's what I want to talk about. So you've got a football player who then was a bachelor, who's a football commentator, who then was kind of weirdly the host of a Bachelor spinoff show. How does he become the host of this cooking show?
I don't know.
As an executive, how do you say that's the guy?
What
I
do you?
want
Whoa,
host-
whoa, whoa, whoa,
It's
whoa.
because he's got nothing else going
You
on.
think the Food Network is any tier of like you were on ABC host?
Yeah.
That's a pretty tall tier. Food Network host, you're definitely going middle bottom tier right there.
But-
This is a huge downgrade.
Is Food Network
I feel like his
part of
agent's
the
the one that fucked
ABC
up here.
family?
Like Food Network,
But I
gotta
don't mean
win.
the channel ABC family.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Of
Oh, the ABC.
is Food Network part of the Disney extended universe?
It definitely is. Yeah.
Is it
Food Network's owned by Disney?
not Viacom?
I think it might
I don't
be. I think it might be Viacom.
Like I assume every TV channel is
Alright.
owned by Disney, Viacom, or NBC Universal. Like, so
In any case, it seems like a downgrade, but maybe they're paying him the big bucks. He's not a bad
if
host.
you're paying him, if you have big bucks to pay, which I don't think Food Network does, I feel you get someone better.
No.
If you don't have big bucks to pay, why don't you get someone better who's like lesser known, but
Just a
more
better
available?
host.
Yeah. Like the decision tree that ends in I'm making Jesse Palmer the host of my cooking show. I don't know what steps you have to follow to get to that.
I'm
Like,
pretty sure it's like, hey, look at this dude's resume. He's been a host. He's a sports commentator. Clearly knows how to do TV. but then it just doesn't translate.
So,
It
so
just doesn't
they
work
saw
out.
his resume that he's already the host of a Bachelor spin-off reality show. We're like,
Right.
this guy's great.
They're like, that's good enough.
Clearly did not watch that show.
Right. Didn't do the homework. Well, I don't know. Was it bad? I didn't see it.
We did not. We were not fans.
Okay.
Not good.
Oh yeah, that
The proposal.
that might be talking about that one in the year
I think
wrap
we're
up for
definitely
sure.
talking about that one in the year in the season wrap up.
So Chris's Internet Corner here.
Ooh.
The Food Network is owned by Discovery.
Really?
Who owns Discovery?
Discovery.
They're a public company.
Oh,
That's
damn.
why I was looking. I was like, who owns this? Oh, Discovery owns Animal Planet and the Science Channel on TLC.
All right.
Oh
so
man,
they're-
we've done a
they
lot of
have-
Discovery shows.
Like Discovery has gone all in on reality TV at this point. You listed all those networks, and all they show are just nonsense reality TV shows now.
You forgot to mention HGTV and the Travel Channel.
Ooh,
Done some of those shows.
Yeah. So
Tiny House Hunters.
Yeah.
Discovery might be one of the largest like
Reality.
producers of reality TV. Like they make a lot of shows.
That's true.
So you're telling me they make a lot of crap.
So I think you hire this guy
okay.
because he's so handsome. This definitely is like a demographic of the people that would watch the show. I feel like would tune in just because he's on it.
Interesting.
So like you're basically saying like they're gonna watch a baking show anyways on the Food Channel, and so like
Well,
then
they're
there
gonna-
happens to be one with a dude that's a former football player that still looks good, and so they're like, okay,
There's definitely I feel like a demographic out there that would tunes into like all these channels that we just discussed that would tune into this channel specifically to watch this show, and the host would probably be a benefit for that.
Chris, in a way, didn't we tune into this show specifically because Jesse Palmer was the host?
I mean, that's a good point.
We are the
They-
particular demographic for sure.
They fucking
the
got us.
reality show podcast crew is
Someone-
some sort of
Someone call him some kind of crossover TV host. He's bringing in the sports fans. He's bringing in the baking fans.
Bachelor fans.
Bachelor
Proposals
fans.
fans.
that's how I heard about this show was on a sports podcast where they interviewed Jesse Palmer. Like, oh, what are you up to? He's like, well, I'm doing this baking show. We're like, what? Well, you gotta check that out. Sorry, guys.
yeah. They oh, I lost it. I remember.
Well, so one of the contestants definitely agrees with you, Chris, about how handsome Jesse
yeah,
Palmer
that's
is.
that was I was trying to get to the quote. And it was just like you're very handsome was one of the contestants told him specifically to his face.
Oh yeah, and then in the next time on, she's like feeding him something and goes, "Everyone's jealous of me now." It's like, what?
Oh, I was gonna say, so we've got one football player. Should we get Jay Cutler as a judge?
Oh,
Jay Cutler would eat a bunch of baked goods.
we gotta get Jay Cutler to this hosting game.
All right.
Jay
so-
Cutler as a host, I don't think works, but Jay Cutler is just a
Like a judge.
commentator. Something like that might work.
Do we gotta Jay Cutler on the podcast within the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no. I just needed Jay Cutler just doing random things and not caring about the show as
I mean, there's a show where you can watch Jay Cutler doing random things and not care.
yeah,
about
but
his
the
show.
rest of that show is garbage.
You were right.
All right.
I do think Rob's onto something though, which is what would make this show better is as you're watching it, having like somebody that actually knows about cooking, like making the like side cut commentary to like
They
be like, oh,
usually-
she's fucking up there. That's not gonna work out.
They usually do that. That is something missing from this show.
Right.
It's definitely like it is definitely weird having Jesse Palmer be the guy who goes around to all the stations and asks about the food because he is not a food expert. He doesn't know the questions to ask. He has not established his authority in that subject. It's just weird.
Every time he comes over, talks to someone's face, like, "Well, how's it going? Okay, cool.
Pretty much.
Keep doing that thing you're doing."
Remoulade sounds great.
The other thing that was super weird is that at the very and I'm going to jump to the very end of the show, but at the
Yep.
very end of the show, like only the three judges are the ones who taste the food and like I assume figure out who to kick off. But then Jesse Palmer delivers all the details about like their food and what was wrong with it and why they're in the bottom. Was like it had those beautiful creams. Like, he hasn't even tasted it. Like, usually it's one of the judges who has actually tasted the food who is doing that part.
I mean,
That's
they,
not true.
They definitely
It is.
there was definitely more Yule log than the judges ate. So after they stopped the judging, Jesse's probably going over there, being all right. Let me get in on
And,
this.
and test it out.
No, he can't
We
keep
just-
that physique eating Yule logs. every
Well, that's
day.
true. He's got to keep up the physique.
So
Just
you
not
you
even.
weren't here last week. Fortune to Fire.
Yeah.
The judges definitely. Sometimes they would say like they did here, where they're like, "Yeah, I didn't like whatever," but the end, the host didn't like. Well, would give the final feedback of like,
It's so
yeah,
weird.
We got to let you go because your blade sucked. Was essentially what happened.
It's just like maybe it would have been a little bit easier to stomach if it was coming from someone who is more of a food expert.
I still want to know who, like James asked, like the show never goes into the judges, who they are, and why they are judges.
It's
Like,
season
man who
5. You know at
needs-
this point.
A man who needs no introduction.
Just
Duff,
like-
whatever his name is.
I feel like these judges didn't do anything on the show to like warrant more credit for themselves either.
like
So in the second challenge, or the latter one with the brandy surprise, like all these judges just seem like raging alcoholics. Like, where the hell is the brandy?
it definitely seemed like somebody was getting drunker as they
Well,
they kept
one lady
showing.
definitely was.
How was she getting drunk? She kept saying there wasn't enough brandy.
She kept drinking
She
brandy on the
got
side.
brandy
I
on
didn't
the
get enough
side.
brandy in that one. Let me get a shot of brandy.
Let me get some brandy with this Yule log.
I
I
think
mean, that might be why she couldn't taste any brandy. She was just drinking brandy, then taking a bite of that Yule log. Like, I don't taste any brandy here.
Where's the brandy?
I may have solved the mystery of Duff.
Ooh.
What is his last name?
Man,
oh,
question.
what? You
No,
can't be doing this.
I'm pretty sure it's Goldblum, and his birth name.
Gold man.
Oh, I thought he was so he wouldn't be confused with Jeff Goldblum. Never mind.
So
Oh
so
my
hold on. So you thought that he was born Jeff Goldblum, and then he changed his name one letter to Duff. No, 2 letters to Duff Goldblum.
I think
Insanity.
that's an all-time. Like, that's a penalty. You got to go to the penalty box.
the
for that
origin
one.
story is clearly this dude drank a ton of beer in college or culinary school, and he became Duff Man, and people just started calling him Duff. That's it.
Must be it.
Yeah.
That is our origin story. There's going to be a movie about it. He can pay us all the money.
Oh, the Duffman origin story. I mean, that'd be an interesting. If The Simpsons did an hour-long episode on the origin of Duffman, I'd watch that.
I can't believe they haven't done that yet.
Right? Like, what are you, Fox? Get on your shit.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Who knows? There's like 80 seasons of that
Yeah,
show.
you know, I mean, it's quite
Go big,
possible I
go
just haven't
big,
seen
go big.
the 3,000.
I can
episodes of
almost
The
guarantee you that episode exists.
All right. So I have this quote written down,
Do it.
and I don't really remember the context. Somebody said "cold-hearted bitch,"
Oh, that was me.
and I was pretty sure that was somebody outside here talking about it. Max, what was the context?
All right. So we were talking about the 3 judges. You got Duff. You got a cold-hearted bitch.
The
Oh,
drunk,
boy.
the person that's always looking for the brandy.
She is really something. And
I agree.
and you got a British lady. We were just like, who are these judges? What are their qualifications? One's named Duff.
One's
So, I
a
mean,
cold.
how did Cold Heart get that nickname?
She's
Like, what
a-
was our first impression of Cold Heart?
Tell me.
No, I mean, I'm teeing it up for you.
No, I don't.
I don't remember.
I mean, effectively, she like before she even like the first tasting of like the whatever the contestants thing. Before anything, she just looks. I don't even remember what she said. It was just like immediate
There was
harsh judging.
Yeah.
Well, there was
just,
some
like,
sort of joke. I thought like was one of the first things that happened.
I don't know. This
She-
this segment clearly fell off the rails.
She a bitch. Moving on.
Moving on. Do you want to hear how Wikipedia says he got the nickname Duff?
Please.
Goldman's nickname Duff came about when he was a baby. His toddler brother, Willie Goldman, was unable to pronounce Jeffrey and kept saying Duffy.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Very
Also,
reasonable.
when Duff was 4, his mother caught him in her kitchen wielding a meat cleaver and watching food personality Chef Tell. There you go.
What does that have to do with
Seems
Duff?
unrelated to the Duff story.
It's literally the next sentence in the Wikipedia story.
Sounds made up. I feel like he got it in college.
It's,
I like my origin story better.
it's Wikipedia, so who knows?
All right. So the contestants, they make this pumpkin spice bullshit. and we learn a little bit about them. No one really cares.
One
There's some-
guy wins, one guy loses.
Well, there's like some people were like home bakers. Some people had like bake shops. Some people taught baking. It all seemed like very off the rails.
One guy
and
was
like,
like
what
a
is
actual chef at some
Yeah,
thing.
that's the guy who won the first.
That's the
challenge.
guy who won the first
I think it was
challenge.
a chef at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yes, that's right.
so
That
like
sounds pretty impressive.
there's definitely some varying levels of qualification between all these people.
That dude who's the pastry chef at the Ritz built that gigantic gingerbread house. He builds it every year. It was like a full size like little
Oh yeah, like
little cabin.
multi-story, I think.
I don't know about that.
I want to throw this out there though. Like hotel food's usually not that good. Ritz Carlton probably doing okay, but like hotel food, I'm never like, dang.
No, I agree with that. I feel like the Ritz knows how to put out a fancy
Yeah, yeah,
dessert
yeah.
though. You know.
It could be well. So you're a chef or a pastry chef. You're not like thinking on your feet. You're not like making stuff with random ingredients that somebody gives you. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna make this cake. Like we're gonna make more some traditional, some like off the wall things, but like they're gonna be tested and like they're not gonna be off the cuff, right? They're like test it. No, that doesn't taste good. But every day you're gonna be making the same things. So like
I
I'm
feel
not
like you're
sure.
definitely refining your recipes as a pastry chef or like a dessert chef.
Baking
right?
has to be very exact. It's basically like
Right.
chemistry, so it's just
So like I don't know if being a professional pastry chef at like one of these restaurants is going to help you all that much. In a competition that relies on you kind of knowing a lot of different kinds of recipes, then you
Yeah.
know somebody at home is just crazy making stuff all the time. So the different every time to be like, oh, is it good? Is it not good?
Yeah.
That could be more advantageous in this kind of a competition. But I have to assume that maybe, you know, some of the home chefs though definitely had their presentations not great. They're definitely not practicing a lot of presentation.
I
No.
mean, I don't claim to be a baker, but I feel like one of the things that does impress me with the show is people's ability with, you know, granted without the internet, to like think and like create a recipe on the fly, or that they've memorized it. And so like whichever way you're going, I think both are equally impressive that you're able to like nail that and get like all of the right proportions of these things. And as Harrison was saying, essentially like perform chemistry on the spot and just like get the right thing to come out, which doesn't always go perfectly to plan.
Well,
But I feel like that's like the thing that like impressed me with like a dessert show, because like I would have, I mean, granted, I'm not a baker, but I would have no idea how to like even approach that thing.
yeah, I mean, you just don't like care to like if you cared, you could look it up and start doing it. Like it's not like I think it's something that's easily learned, which is why these shows are kind of popular. Like
I see.
you could
Is there like,
you
there's,
could
like certain
bake
base
cook-
of things? Like,
yeah,
okay, you got
there's
this
obvious-
and, that and whatever.
it's generally like you make X number of desserts and you just kind of learn how generally all of them work.
This many
obviously,
eggs, this much sugar, yada yada.
With these, when you get more advanced, like you got more flavors, you get to know how to pull flavors in and out. So obviously, I think if you go to culinary school, that's what you learn to a point.
there you go.
I mean, even to that point, there was somebody in the show where they're like, "Oh, I didn't put enough like Jello or something in this. This is all screwed up. I got to do something." And then the judges were like, "This is great," and we're like, "What happened
Well-
here? You fucked that up. What happened?"
She pivoted from what she was originally making into a mousse.
Yeah, but it seemed like a pretty big fuck up.
Well,
no,
yeah.
but that's impressive though. Like she was trying to do something, it didn't work. She's like, it's not thick enough, so I guess I'm gonna make it a mousse now. I'm gonna use this other thing and make it like a cookie in the mousse. Hopefully it works out. And they ate it. They're like, this is great.
Was that creme fraiche?
Oh yeah,
Like,
the creme
put some-
fraiche.
put that
That was
creme fraiche
key.
in there.
That was key.
I would have been like, I don't know. I guess it's fucked up. I don't know.
That's right. We're on the Food Network. Got to get that creme fraiche.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely seems like it's a lot harder to save stuff in a baking show like this, just because of like the amount of time that this stuff has to bake.
Yep.
You don't really have time to try it again if something goes wrong, and like it's definitely pretty tough.
I mean, not to be a dead horse, but Forge and Fire also had that problem.
I'm sure it
You can't
did.
make a blade. You only got so much time.
It's true.
You can't
Chris is
restart
really
everything.
feeling Forged and Fire tonight.
Should we
He's
just
all
go
in.
back a week, guys?
We could.
How about that challenge too?
So I was surprised to hear that apparently people on this podcast have never heard of a Yule log as a cake.
Never heard of this thing.
I can't believe it.
It's definitely like, so my aunt makes like some sort of pumpkin version of a Yule log. But the first like
Pumpkin or pumpkin spice?
just pumpkin.
Just
So
pumpkin.
It's just pumpkin. It was called a pumpkin roll for most of my life. And then somebody mentioned Yule something at some point. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like exactly what it was. So like, I just don't think where I was from that people called it a Yule log. It definitely was not a popular dessert.
I've definitely seen another reality competition show where they had to roll a cake like this.
Great British Baking Show, season 1, episode 1.
There it is. 'Cause I'm like, oh, I just remember judging the rolls and like the consistency of the roll. I'm like, where have I seen this before? Max nailed it.
But they definitely didn't call it a Yule log.
They called it a
Right.
Swiss roll.
Swiss roll.
Yep.
Yes.
Also, the judging in that show seemed to be way better than the judging in this show.
You
Yeah,
like
these
you like
judges
Mary
just wanted
Berry
the
and
damn
Paul
branch.
Hollywood better?
I just think they were just better judgers. I don't know if they were better like entertainers per se, but they were better at judging like a Yule log. than I
Like
think.
other than just screaming about where's the brandy, these judges weren't that entertaining. I don't think.
They definitely had some written lines and some takes that I thought were humorous.
Some of Jesse Palmer's one-liners were not great.
No, Jesse Palmer, no. Everything he said was very boring and not good. But
Duff, man, everything he said was gold.
You should have been added a man on the end of that.
Right. No, it was me messing with his name.
Oh, okay.
yeah. But yeah, the judging of these like Yule logs, just very haphazard. Like there was no like, I expect your Yule log to like look like this, and nope. It was just like the outside looks good, and this thing tastes too salty, or
Not enough
No
brandy.
mention of the roll. I was really expecting some roll judgment.
there was
It's
no
just
like.
Sometimes.
Like I think there's kind of at the point in the show where there's so many people on the show and they got to get through this judging that they just do not have enough time to. Either they don't have enough time to nitpick it to begin with, or they don't have enough time to show the nitpicking.
It
Yeah.
definitely there are way too many people on this show.
There are a lot of people.
Like
There's so many.
there's like by the time they get to the last person, I'm exhausted. I'm like just I want to know how things taste. Like I want to know like
was it like 10? Like how many?
there's
people?
9
Nine.
people.
9. Gee, that was a lot. I feel like 6 is maybe the right starting point here, but I don't know.
Then you
It's
can
just
go
so
from
much.
Thanksgiving to Christmas and be done with it.
Right. Just get it out of the way. Let's move it on.
The thing is, like the number of people directly corresponds to how many episodes you can have. So like,
Yeah.
you gotta have at least 9. Seems to be 9 or 8 seems to be
Yeah.
your minimum.
What if
here.
you had 12 and then it was 12 Days of Christmas?
oh,
But you have to have 12 episodes. You're just gonna have 12 days in a row, or like
Yeah.
12 weeks before Christmas
Yeah.
we start this. We got the October, we got the
It's-
autumn,
It's 12
then the
days in a
Halloween.
row, ending with the grand finale on Christmas.
Holiday baking binge mode. That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's just like what was that Scared Famous show that was on for like months?
Oh my
oh
god.
no.
You're like, what happened? Halloween was over 3 months ago. What happened?
I do have an idea for a spin-off show from this though.
I don't know if we're in spinoff territory yet.
Give it-
Easter eggs.
Oh, I guarantee you they have every spinoff you could ever imagine.
Right.
There's probably a Valentine's Day version of this.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
certainly Easter
Every
version.
holiday.
There's July 4th version. Like any version you could think of, I guarantee you somebody's done it.
Bringing it back to something Rob said earlier, do they have like an MLK Day version?
I don't know if there's any food related to MLK.
I don't think so.
So maybe it's possible.
It could happen.
There's another quote I have written down was like, he tries to be a traditionalist. And it was like something about, which seemed very sexist to me at the time. Or maybe I just wanted to write it down for some other reason.
I mean, I'm sure it was, but without the context, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Was it traditionalist? Because I feel like I remember a different comment that was like in the same spirit, which was basically a remark to one of the judges critiquing something, and the contestant responds with, "I'm a naturalist,"
Oh, that might have, I think that I,
Right, right. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that was
the
it.
naturalist is
yeah.
what I
and it was a
wanted to
very
write down.
quick take, and we're all like kind of looking at each other like, "What does that mean?"
That's definitely
He
what
put
I
like a
liked.
sprig on his log or
It was
something.
like a mushroom or something,
Yeah.
right?
And they're like, "Oh, I like what you did with that." I'm like, "I'm a naturalist." I'm like, what?
Yeah, for sure.
I think he meant to say tradition. I don't know. I was
No,
very odd.
Naturalist makes sense, sort
Yeah.
of?
the mushroom.
It's just an odd remark, I feel.
There's a couple odd. There's odd remarks. There's also like a couple odd work like where they cut away to a confessional for just like 2 words. and come
Oh.
back, and it was just very like strange.
The one dude just like go into a cut of the confessional, just be happy holidays.
That
and then
was-
come back.
Well, no, that was when they announced he won.
Oh,
I thought that was a really good like sick burn on everyone else.
oh my god.
So I think the last thing to talk about with this Yule log is the one guy who thought he was too cool to do a Yule log.
Unbelievable.
He made some pancakes instead and said it's a
That's the
stomp.
best description. They were totally fake.
They were definitely moist. It was a moist cake.
How dare he disrespect the spirit of the holiday baking championship?
But it was a Yule log mashup. I think that if you took the Yule log traditions and made a cake, but he just made a freaking cake.
yeah.
He didn't like a cake is the same thing as a Yule log. So like I don't understand how you could go that direction.
Well,
It-
he kind of layered it though, like similar to how you would get the consistency and depth in a Yule, but like
But
it was
It's
that's
not
just
a
it's
a
roll.
cake,
literally
though.
just a layer cake. He should at least rolled that thing and stood it up like
Yeah, I went back to James's point that they didn't care enough about the rolls, and like the fact that this guy got away with this blatant non-rolling situation was really not in the spirit of the competition.
this dude would have gotten torn up on the Great British Baking
Oh,
Show.
yeah.
It would have been a disaster for
Mary
him.
wouldn't
Berry
eat
would
it.
not have stood for this.
No.
Throw that cake on the floor. Roll it again.
Well, I mean, on that note, there is a holiday version of the Great British Bake Show on Netflix right now. They keep
Ooh.
recommending it to me because I watched the first episode of the Great British Bake Show. I also have another quote written down.
Hit me.
I like the blue and white, like some Hanukkah in here.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was very confused what that means. Can the Jewish people in the room explain this to me, or is there anything
I
to
think
do with this?
it's pretty straightforward. Just like the Hanukkah colors are blue and white. So he had these little blue and white like chips that were in the cake, and he's like, "I'm bringing a little Hanukkah in." I think that's all it was.
Whoa. I want to bring this back to Hanukkah colors.
I can explain this.
What are Christmas colors?
Yeah,
Are
but
they red and green?
They
what
are
are Hanukkah
But I've
colors?
never seen.
They're blue
like
and
a-
white.
I didn't
I'm
know.
so
I'm just-
confused by what Chris is confused about.
I'm confused. That's all. I just want people to explain to me.
Got it.
I
There's
didn't-
Hanukkah colors.
But I've never seen anyone dress like their house up in these colors. Like
Well, you don't really dress your house up for Hanukkah. It's just
I don't
not
know,
like
I
it's
just-
just
I
like a
don't know.
different.
Picture I've seen on the internet, some guy dressed did his
Oh.
house blue and white.
I'm not saying no one has ever dressed their house up for Hanukkah.
I've
then
definitely
how
seen
does
some
it have
blue and
colors?
white lights for
How does it
Hanukkah
have
lights.
colors then?
All right. I got the whole story on this.
Give it
All right.
Max.
You ever see those little like I'm gonna dumb this down a bit. You ever see Jewish people wearing these like little scarf things? They're,
Yeah.
Those are generally colored with a white and blue because what are those? You used to make like very royal blue dyes from this nautilus that you could find in Israel. So that was like the main dye they had, and it's for some reason just like that color scheme is like Jewish color scheme.
Yeah.
It's also the
I know. I
Flag
know.
of Israel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna ask. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the flag's
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
actually-
Yeah, but I just don't know. So I get that. I've seen that. I know the symbol's usually blue. The like the like star thing is usually blue.
Oh
But
yes,
how-
the cross of David.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Why are the colors just associated with Hanukkah? Aren't they just like in general the colors?
I don't.
I mean, yes.
yeah.
It's a Jewish holiday.
But I guess since this is the holidays and Hanukkah is the Jewish holiday in the holidays,
Yeah,
because it's
well,
blue and white, it's like
it's you know at the same
considered-
time of the year, so I think that people kind of lump it in with other holidays.
I don't know. It just seemed very, it was like, oh, obviously, Jewish or something, but like obviously Hanukkah, I just was thrown off.
yeah, it's actually Hanukkah right now.
Yeah, happy
It's
Hanukkah,
happening.
everyone.
Thank you. Yeah,
Happy Hanukkah, y'all.
lighten that menorah.
you gotta turn all those blue and white lights on.
I have a menorah that's blue.
See, there you go. I feel like I have seen blue menorahs. Like that seems pretty.
Yeah,
consistent.
sure.
Yeah, I
my
don't know.
my candles are blue and white that I
See?
got from the QFC.
There you go. Blue and white candles. It's the official colors. Of Hanukkah.
The official colors, because every menorah has blue and white.
Candles.
I
candles.
mean, Max is wearing blue and white socks right now. What more do you need to know?
Yep.
And he's Jewish, so there you
There you go.
It's confirmed. I have another quote, guys.
What is it?
Sweet potato pie. That's about as
go. Is that the quote? No, I think
that's about as sexily as I can say it, but
Do you have the full quote there?
There was
No.
definitely more context. You're
No.
missing so much of
I'm
that
missing a lot of the context there. I just remember sweet potato pie being said very sexily, and that's what I wrote down.
I'm starting to think Chris might have had a little too much inspiration for this podcast.
My notes aren't as extensive because the show really isn't all that interesting.
It was some really weird comment. It's just like, yeah, I made this sweet potato cheesecake, but it's like it's as good as sweet potato pie. It was something weird. I can't remember exactly. what
Well,
it was.
if other people would take notes, they would know too.
Hey, I thought you had it.
No, you didn't. That's not. Don't lie to me and don't
Hey,
lie to the
man,
audience.
I knew you were writing it down there.
I wrote it down. That's what I got. You want better notes? Take your own notes.
All right, what else do we got to say about the show?
I don't know.
There's an shit to say about this show. For the love of God, we got to rate this
All
piece
right.
of crap.
All right, James, give it to me. Give me your ratings.
Bottom third, it's top of the bottom. I was initially gonna give it a middle, but like as we talked, there's just not enough here. The show is just bland and straightforward. It is exactly what you expect, but nothing more. And Jesse Palmer is terrible at this show, and so for all of those reasons, it's in the bottom. It's one of those like if it's on, I guess like if you're sitting around with the family and there's nothing else on the TV, I suppose
I'm
you
just
won't bother
gonna
to change
I'm just
it,
gonna
but
go
that's
on
it.
my phone. Like I'm not paying attention to this.
Yeah,
show.
like it's like that's all the show is. I don't know. There's not much to it.
So I'm also I'm kind of on the edge too. I'm on the edge of low middle. Like as we talk, as at the end I thought it was gonna be middle, but as we talk, I think it should be low, and I feel like I do this to myself every week. So I'm gonna go middle. It's just bland,
Oh.
but it's not necessarily boring, and it could be better.
Yeah,
I
like
don't-
it's not terrible.
So I'm
But-
just gonna go middle. It's not offensive. It is what it is, and
Is that the bar now for the?
oh, certainly, certainly.
Yep.
If it's boring or offensive, that's like the bar.
There are a lot of shows we watch that are actively bad.
Yeah, this is just bland. All right, Max, give it to me.
Bottom third, top of the bottom. Just replay everything James said in like post production and just pretend I said it.
All right, we'll do. I'll get some sort of voice.
Short but
changer.
sweet.
Harrison.
Well, this is definitely going to be at like a bottom of the middle kind of show for me. Like it's not offensive. It's not actively bad. There are other baking shows that I like better than this one, namely Great British. That British. I've got.
Is this gritty?
I've
Have
just-
a
I've
baking
just
show?
got, I've just got gritty on the mind. That Great British Baking Show. So yeah, I don't know. It was all right. It was okay.
Yeah.
Rob.
I'm gonna have a similar one. I'm gonna put in the middle. Like it's fine, and like I'm not a big cooking show person, so it's not really for me. But like if you're into cooking shows, it'll be good. But like there's definitely better cooking shows you could watch. So.
Is there like the Great
Yes.
British Bake Show?
Yeah, that's
I,
the
I
one.
mean, like obviously that is the top of the top, but like every other baking show I've seen has not been better than this, or even they've been either on par or worse. There's nothing like anything special about any of these shows. They're not being over. The production on all these shows are very similar.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why the Great British Baking Show is so like stands out, because it actually has decent production values and like.
But
Yeah.
like you can watch a show where you also have like Gordon Ramsay screaming at 9-year-olds. Like that's
Right.
that's adding some flair to the show.
Like I want to see Gordon Ramsay take a shitty cake and just throw it on the floor. Like this is trash.
Yeah, but that show doesn't exist.
It could.
I mean, it could, but just doesn't.
Well, I mean, sure.
I mean, Gordon Ramsay just heard there's a show he could do that doesn't exist. He's already
I mean,
working
I
on
would
it.
yeah.
love. They definitely. This show would be way better if they had a Gordon Ramsay character that would just shit on everything. You need them to be like, "Oh, this cake sucks. You need to go back to culinary school." It needs to be said at least one time every episode.
I mean, they did talk a lot about the lack of brandy.
Yeah, but that wasn't like constructive. That wasn't mean. I needed it to be like, you failed. You did this wrong. I need more of this. Like, there just wasn't a whole good enough judging happening.
I just like you also sort of think of a bunch of these food cooking based reality shows on this scale of like the talent of people that they bring in, and I just don't think that like the slice and that scale of talent that they pick for that show is that great. Like it's not like the like mostly like home chef people that are like master chef. It's kind of like the hey, they're like good home chefs or kind of people that are professionals, but maybe not famous or not really like award winning. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's just kind of this weird middle ground between like they're not amazing and they're not kind of like pretty raw talent. It's just kind of
blah,
weird.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
Which I agree. Like, if they were shitty, that'd be entertaining to like watch people suffer through this and try to make something.
And that's basically like that's
There's
like
definitely
Master
versions-
Chef. There's like Master Chef, Hell's Kitchen that are all like kind of people who are just getting started.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like it just seems like they're trying to. It's a very conservative show at the end of the day, right? Like they just sort of got some blah people. They got a blah host and blah judges with a blah formula, and you end up with just like, yeah, it's kind of blah.
I mean,
Right?
they use
Like-
this formula all the time, though. It's like
But like,
Ed-
they don't do anything.
there's
to
a
it,
whole
so it's-
channel with I think 50% of the programs is this.
Like a lot of those Food Network competition reality shows look like this.
Like there's not a big difference. So like they're just trying to get people a little more excited because it's the holidays.
Has-
Do we need to ban the Food Network? Do we need to give them
Ooh.
No.
a penalty?
They're not even all. It's not even unanimous bottom 30. You can't
Yeah,
ban
I don't
them.
know, but we just said every show's like this on the Food Network. Like,
Yeah, I
why would we
mean,
watch another
Well,
one?
definitely.
When we went to San Diego, a couple of us just like sat down and watched like guys' grocery games for like 4 hours straight, and that was okay.
It does not sound okay.
Oh boy,
We did do guys' grocery games.
we did.
Oh, we did.
That
oh,
was,
they had that pizza with the tortilla.
but that dude made dough. I can't. That's another thing that happened where the dude made dough and he was supposed to not use dough, and
Yeah.
they liked his dish more than everything. Like he broke the
Nonsense.
rules.
It's crazy.
Not okay.
Has anyone seen there's this new competition food show that,
Final
that
Table?
Netflix produced, Final Table? Have you seen it?
Just watched it last night.
Yeah. I finished the whole thing. I
How
have
are we gonna do it on the pod? Then?
I guess we could do it on the pod, but it's
But
at
he
least
doesn't
an
want to.
interesting format.
It's as far as competition food shows go, really good format.
They definitely dumped a lot of money into it.
Oh,
I will
yeah.
say
All
that.
right. We'll put it on the queue.
The judges they get like are serious. Like I was the first episode is about Mexican cuisine, and I mentioned to a friend of the show, Brian, oh, you're going to Mexico City, you should go to this Michelin starred restaurant, and then the guest judge is the chef of that Michelin starred restaurant.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's basically like different countries' cuisine like per episode.
Man, that'd be so hard.
It's very good.
I would love to take the judging of those master chefs, Michelin star chefs, and have them judge this competition.
Oh yeah.
that
It
would be amazing.
that would
I
be
would just
great.
like that would really make the show. Like I understand the shows would be happy and go lucky, but like I would really love to see them to be like, yeah, just shit all over everything they made.
Here are the 100 things you did wrong with this dish.
I'm
Is that
gonna.
a show? I would
We got a
love-
bullet point here.
I would love to see a show where it's just the Michelin star process. But like I know like part of the whole thing with that is like it's super secret and they don't explain how it works.
Like the
for,
reviewing?
reasons. But like I feel like man, I don't know, like I find it pretty fascinating. Like just go undercover, have like some hidden cameras and stuff, like follow the judge into like this restaurant that doesn't know they're getting judged.
He just wants to watch Undercover Boss. No.
They did that on
That would
Bob's
be interesting.
Burgers.
Undercover Michelin stars.
There's an episode of Bob's Burgers like that.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'd be
find
very
it-
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason why that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. I've been watching some other shows.
Hit me.
Jers Day.
Oh
Mm.
I've
gosh.
been watching some Jers Day.
Oh boy.
They had like a clip show for Thanksgiving, and I hate clip shows, but that was actually kind of cool. They like it was like them watching their like younger selves and how much they were like shitting on them younger selves because they know that they were assholes, and
Sure.
that was just kind of fun to just kind of have up on the side.
That's
without,
pretty
like-
good. I'm into it.
and then like kind of reminisce about the old show, which is also, you know, fun because that's what that whole show kind of is. So
We have a Jers Day related event coming up this week.
we do.
We
which
do.
I cannot believe that Rob roped me into this insane thing.
Same.
Hey, I don't think it was me. I think it was friend of the pod, Annabeth, who really convinced you.
I mean, it was definitely the combo. We're going to see DJ Pauly D on Saturday.
oh yeah,
Oh
Can't
my God.
believe it.
I can't believe it.
it's so insane that we had to do it.
I just thought I should bring that up.
Oh yeah, We can have a recap next episode.
Tweet at us. We can give it early.
Should we tweet at DJ Pauly D?
Definitely. We should get him on the pod.
Can we live pod from the club?
No.
No.
I've got a lot of Jersey Shore to watch if we're going to
could
interview
do a
DJ Pauly D on the
I'm not
pod.
gonna ask him shit about Jersey Shore. Why would I?
We could do a Facebook Live from the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I've also another show has come back.
Which one's back, Chris?
Floribama Shore is back, guys.
I can't believe they came back after like a month and a half hiatus.
There's been
with
a long
2-hour
time.
episode right off the bat.
So the only reason I watched it was because the DVR picked it up as Jersey. I was like, what is this Jersey Part 1 thing that got recorded? And I was like, I popped on. I'm like, oh,
There you
it's
go.
Floribama Shore.
It's been so long they put out a season recap for season 2, even though they're still in the middle of season 2.
Yeah, I was confused. Like, is this a new season? Like, there was no time between the last episode and this episode, but they like kind of treated it as a new season.
There was a get ready for the new season, and I don't know what MTV's doing. They've definitely, I have no idea, but they're back.
They are.
It's back on.
It was very serious.
Oh,
that
there's a
first
lot of stuff
episode's
happening.
super serious.
Oh yeah,
Like there was a stalker on
Oh.
stalking the whole crew.
restraining orders. There's fights, all kinds of shit breaking. out.
Great.
It's very clear the women in the show do not know how to pick men. All the men that they end up with are just like garbage. One's named Gator.
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 Gator McCluskey.
It's like RJ Gator 4500s.
Or it's something for super.
His name is RJ Gator 4500.
It's a whole big plot thing, and all the
Something
dudes are
thing.
like, "Ain't no way I'm calling a grown man RJ Gator whatever."
4500.
Oh no, it's RJ Gator 4500 Southside God. That's what
I
it
don't
something
know
like
what
that.
it is.
And
It's
I don't know why I'm
something-
plugging that dude's handle
It's
so much,
something ridiculous.
You're plugging it hard.
Which
because that's his name that he goes by in like real life.
Is
I
he-
don't. I think it's a name he goes by for this show.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think his nickname is legitimately Gator.
Right.
Is he related to Andre 3000? Is
I was
he in
definitely
that?
thinking about Andre 3000.
Are any of them dating Bama Macaw?
No,
Oh. Bama Mc-
it's a deep cut. It's a deep cut.
Gotta do the deep cut.
Is there a
Yeah.
town called Brandonton?
There must be.
Bradenton, Florida?
Yeah.
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 There's a restaurant in Bradenton called RJ Gators.
Is it
Oh,
his?
I don't know.
I've been to an RJ Gators.
What? Way to bury
Not
the
in that
lead. Jesus.
I might be fucking that guy's handle up because I'm confusing it with the restaurant.
Oh.
It's definitely like Gator 4500.
It's
Southside
definitely-
God.
RJ Gator
I think the
4500.
RJ I might have misled with a little bit, but you know,
It's
whatever.
definitely something Gator, something, some stupid number.
Oh yeah,
It
it's
was
the whole big thing.
It was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
And then she's still like, I don't. He's like an asshole to me, but I'm not sure. I'm just like,
Dude,
dude.
they're getting all these dudes' backstories now, and like, if they're all saying true stuff, they all have insane like upbringing and backstories. Like, very serious shit has gone on in a lot of these people's lives.
Yeah.
Like,
That it's
Heavy.
a very
It's a heavy hitter.
serious. You know, they weren't just drinking the whole episode.
I mean, there's a lot of drinking, but you know, I do like when they tell a story and it's like, all right, guys, let's go do some shots. And they're just like, okay, let's do some shots.
Yeah.
One of the biggest concerns in this last episode was they needed to get a restraining order on this one girl's boyfriend so that they could continue going out to the local bars.
Ooh.
Because he's like, I'm a VIP in this town. I'm everywhere. It did get a little off the rails, and this is not very good. Where that we probably should get out of the details on this. This is gonna go off the rails.
Yeah.
Anyways, he did some stuff. Basically, called her mom, threatened her and the whole family, and all the people on the show. Was like, wherever you go, I'm gonna be there.
Oh.
And yeah, it was not good. And the cops already knew about this guy apparently.
Ooh,
So
that's
that's
not
all in
good.
this last episode.
Fun.
Yeah. In some other news, though, another show. Has everyone caught up on Challenge?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely
Should
caught up
we-
on the
should we do a
challenge.
quick challenge dip?
Let's do it.
I mean, I think we should crack it open. You know.
Hit me up.
Man, that's basically the most disappointing end to the season possible.
Ooh,
Like,
I wouldn't have said that, but okay.
I just the way that whole thing went down, like that was the person in the final who I least wanted to win.
So the last episode, I didn't realize it was going to be the final.
Right.
Yeah.
It just sort of started. I'm like, oh, I guess it's just the final right now.
It was
Uh-huh.
just one episode, one and done.
It was
Top to bottom,
it was
final.
nice that they did the whole thing in one
Yes.
episode, that they announced the winner, all that stuff. But like the way that went down, Ashley took home her second victory, which I can't even believe that she's won 2 at this point.
Right.
It's
so Hunter and
wild.
Ashley win,
Yeah.
and Ashley takes the money.
Basically, they had this mechanic in the season where they sum up all the individual times. It's like when Johnny did it to Sarah on Rivals 3, and then they let whoever the winner is decide either split the money with their partner or keep it all, and she kept whole $1 million. Very strong move.
Insane. I remember at the end of this episode, I don't think that I would call it unsatisfying, although I was like more like pissed about who won. But
Yeah.
like it wasn't like the episode was unsatisfying. Like it had all of the drama and you know what I mean? Like I feel like unsatisfying is not the word.
I thought it
would use
was
there.
I thought it was an okay final. It was a huge bummer to see Cara Maria and Marie just totally fall apart and tear each other apart in that thing, because
They
they
imploded.
because their
Yep.
like their relationship had come a long way in the season. That was like a really good storyline. So that was kind of a bummer.
I don't even know really how that like happened.
They
I mean, I get how, but like they were becoming friends and all of it. Like it just went 180 the other way.
yeah, I don't know. Marie was sucking and Cara wasn't being helpful, and it was yeah.
They were getting some hurtful things. I found it interesting about halfway through this challenge when they were doing one of the endurance things where they basically like a bunch of these people had to like team up and stand on like a pillar or something
Yeah.
for many hours. And so Marie's basically like, I can't do it, jumps off like a chump. And Marie's obviously pissed and just goes for a bottle of wine.
I mean, I would do that too.
I would have gone straight to sleep. I'm like, hey, all these other people are going to be worn out. We're going to sleep right now.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm thinking.
yeah. The other kind of BS about this Hunter Ashley thing was Hunter carried them through the eating challenge, and Hunter gets no individual credit for the eating challenge.
Yep.
And that was some bullshit too.
Hunter carried Ashley through this whole like season.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Mostly.
I don't know. I like Ashley definitely did better in some of those individual parts of the thing. Like she beat him on the run, some of this other stuff. But like, I mean, Hunter definitely took him through that eating challenge. Like he should have gotten some kind of credit for that.
Ashley also made Hunter fall off the helicopter in the opening challenge.
Yeah. Oh, he fell so hard off the helicopter. Oh my god.
That's why he couldn't do the run as fast. He fell from a helicopter.
I mean, that probably didn't
Because
help.
Ashley stepped on his hands.
I didn't understand why his harness didn't catch him. It looked like he fell from like 30 feet directly onto his back. Like it was not a good situation.
I thought he was about to break something.
Oh, I thought he was done. I thought it was over. He's
good,
a tough guy.
Good start to a final challenge.
Yeah. God.
I don't know. I definitely walked away from the episode being like, man, I can't imagine. Like, I definitely dislike Ashley.
Yeah, she's terrible.
And like, I don't like how MTV tried to pin it. Like Ashley was good person in this scenario, and Hunter was the bad guy.
Her explanation was that he called her a slut, and he says, "No, I didn't." And then MTV,
Cuts to the
Cuts
shot
to
of
him clearly
after
calling
night
her a
of
slut.
drinking.
No, it was
her reasoning was fine.
it was preceded by the incredible line. She's like, you called me a slut, and he's like, I didn't call you a slut, you fucking bitch. And you're like, okay, I guess that's actually better, but
I don't even think Ashley was in this season at all. I don't
No.
remember.
well, because
like,
they were
I remember, like,
mercenaries. They came in late.
4 scenes with her in it.
Mercenaries shouldn't be able to win. It's bullshit.
Mercenaries just this whole production of this season was bad.
Yep.
They've got to rework the mercenaries thing
From
for sure.
the whole, this is a trilogy bullshit.
I love the trilogy.
to
Don't-
Redemption House bullshit. To
Love the
like,
Redemption House.
just like yeah.
This season was fucking great. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think
It was
this
a
might
good
be my
season.
last season of the challenge.
Oh no!
thing. It's not a competition show.
I don't
It's
care
just a
what
show.
I don't care what it is. It's produced poorly. That's all that matters.
Can I spoil anything about the new season?
No, you're
Not
not.
the-
Absolutely
You
not.
keep trying to spoil the new season, and I keep saying, "Do not spoil the new season."
I do know what the
The
theme.
theme? Yeah.
Of, yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna discuss it when the season
Is it
comes
a
out.
quadrilogy?
I
I'm
hope
not
so.
saying anything.
It's a quintilogy. They're gonna go back to the season 29 and include it.
Oh,
What about that?
Do you
CT
know
wedding
about any
though?
of the cast members?
No.
We'll talk later.
I don't really like. Okay, I'll transition this into. I've been watching Survivor also.
Okay.
And Survivor, I find very interesting. Again, I think it's produced better. The drama's better. The challenges are better. Everything about it.
But are the people crazier?
He
they're
doesn't
just
care.
filmed in a more interesting way. Like I don't want to watch crazy people.
Okay.
These people are roided up, like drink, like the drama and the challenge is just not interesting drama either. Like all these people have kids, they're married, like they're not like really banging each other, like, and that's what they try to like get the drama to go towards, and it just like feels so hollow, and like the survivor drama is just like who are we voting out, like how you dealing with like the thing at the end, and like
Yeah.
it's all about like finding like it's all about the game, and it's interesting. The challenge is not. It just isn't.
They definitely put a lot of drama into the challenge.
And it's just not interesting drama.
Hey,
It
that's
really-
that's
it's
just,
just not.
your opinion, you know.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
fine.
It's definitely Chris's opinion.
It is certainly my opinion, and I'm giving it out there. I'm moving the challenge back down.
Oh, he's downgrading it.
Oh,
I think there's
oh
a
my
put. You can't move
God.
season
It's
2
really
down.
interesting to me because I feel like we're polar opposites on this topic. Like, I can't stand the Survivor like at all for pretty much all the same reasons that like you're saying like the other way.
That's fine.
And like yeah,
I just think
it's interesting. I think it just appeals to like different people and what they're
they're
looking
this. They're the fact that you say that they're like the just the way it's produced is slightly different in terms of like what focuses what, and they're very similar shows in my mind.
for. Oh no, yeah, I'm not saying they're not similar. It's hard for me to watch Survivor at all. Like I'm super bored, just as like you are bored when you watch Challenge. Like it's the same thing.
You gotta get. It was boring in the beginning. I think as they get down to the like less number of people, it's more interesting.
That's fair.
Anyway,
I have one
Uh,
last question
how-
about the trilogy.
Oh,
Okay.
So it was Dirty 30, Vendettas, Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rank 1, 2, 3. How are they?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh man. Dirty 30 was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel like I like these seasons have been airing for like a year and a half at this point. Like
Yes.
it's just been insane.
It all just kind of bleeds together. Too.
Yeah, it's all part of the same story, really. I would say it's.
I would say it's not even a trilogy.
You'd say it's not even a trilogy. I would say it's Dirty 30, Final Reckoning, and then Vendettas. Even though I think that the final on Vendettas is probably the best final that they had in the 3, it's such a small part of the show that it's just, yeah.
Final was a better competition, but the ending was insanity.
What do you
I
mean?
had to wait 2 more weeks.
Oh,
to
no,
get
that
no.
was
Buck one.
shit.
I agree with the production. I mean, the actual competition of the final, I think, was
Right.
better
I'll
that
give
season.
you that. Yeah. Like the competition was good in Vendettas for the final.
There were like 2 or 3 out of the 5 legs, and this last one were just running legs.
Yeah.
Like it was just crazy. Anyway,
I have Chris's Internet Corner.
okay.
Hit me.
Gator's name.
Oh Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Gator J231 Southside
Oh,
God.
what did my phone do? I had it right here. It went away. Here it is. Gator J 281 Southside Gowd.
Gowd.
So that's just not like his Twitter handle. It's like what he goes by as his
Yes.
I don't know.
So if he was
That's
like,
in the show. They made it seem like that's what he goes by.
so if he was like in the NBA like Meta World Peace, I'd just say that on the back of his jersey, like whatever that crazy thing is.
Yeah.
Great.
I think that just might be the name that he was going by in the show because he might be like a drug dealer. He didn't want to give his real name. He was very sketchy. He was not a very good. He didn't seem like a very wholesome, down to earth person.
I mean, he just got back from prison. So, you know.
so this is the level of people we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to bring anything else
I
up?
mean,
Are you going to go back to the challenge?
I got one quick one. Well, I'm not gonna go back to the challenge, but now that you mentioned, I do want to say one more thing about the challenge.
All right.
The reunion is hosted by Dolph Ziggler, who is another WWE superstar, and it
my
is
God.
real funny. He's much better than The Miz.
Okay.
But just every time that the thing comes up, he's like, "Hey, I'm Dolph Ziggler." It's pretty great.
That's so funny.
I am glad it's not the Miz. I can't.
It's not The Miz.
stand the Miz.
Miz was bad.
Dolph Ziggler is a self-proclaimed challenge super fan, and
Okay.
he's
Ooh.
hosting it, so I don't know. So that's that. Other competition reality show. I finished watching the latest season of Are You the One?
Oh yeah.
Which I don't think we've talked about in the pod, but
No.
it was good. I don't know if I can spoil any of it. If anybody, no spoilers for Max. Max is gonna watch it.
Someday.
Oh man. Okay,
What about
well, I can't talk about.
how about
that.
the challenge prospects for the
Uh,
next
There
trilogy?
there are some incredible prospects in this season.
Was there like a minor league in the trilogy to like headline the next trilogy, or like
I don't know.
is there no like bleeding between the trilogies now? Like, how does this trilogy thing work?
We're gonna see when the next season comes out how the trilogy thing works.
No,
But
the
yeah.
next seasons we figured out how the quadrilogy works.
Oh yeah, they're just gonna. They said it couldn't be done, but we did a fourth one.
We did a 33rd one.
Chris, can I spoil one cast member for you? Not verbally
Sure.
Why,
about the challenge.
These guys.
Oh,
Oh, that's pretty good,
that's
right?
pretty good, yeah.
It's Jeff
He's-
Probst.
He's back in.
It's Johnny Bananas.
Oh, this is pretty good.
I would be highly surprised if Bananas is not in the next season.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
I watched a abbreviated piece of Love Island season 1. I have mixed feelings. We will review Love Island at some point in the future.
Yes.
All right.
It's on the queue. All right. Well, you can find us on Twitter at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. You can email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. Please rate us on iTunes. It really helps. And we'll see you guys next time.